The 7-step formula for writing powerful articles in less than an hour. What I'm about to reveal to you in this article is an easy to follow, step-by-step formula for writing powerful articles in less than an hour. It might take you a few times to get the hang of it the first time around, but once you've gotten through the learning curve, your articles will flow out of you without stressing your brain out too much. I say this from experience because I used to be terrified about the thought of writing an article, but once I got this formula down to an art, they seem to come together quite easily now. The benefits of writing articles alone outweigh the fear of having to write them, so read this article with an open mind, and if you have to read through it twice, do so. Writing articles are very powerful and, in my mind, the best way to build trust and credibility with your online business. So, without further delay, let's go to step number 1. Step number 1. Targeting your audience. The first thing you have to figure out is which audience, target market, are you trying to reach? This is critical to your overall outcome of your article and what you want your potential reader/customer to do next after they've read your article. So, make sure you know ahead of time who you want to target. Step number 2. Put together a attention-grabbing headline. This is probably the single most important step when it comes to writing your articles, because this is what's used to bait your potential reader/customer to read your article. Let's use my headline for this article as an example. The 7-step formula for writing powerful articles in less than an hour. Notice how I've stated the main benefit you'll receive from reading my article. This is key, and this is what you want to convey to your potential reader/customer. Step number 3. Clearly explain your position on the issue. This next step is where you introduce your article with a sentence or two that clearly and completely explains your position on the issue in which you promised in the headline of your article. You don't want to leave people hanging, but, at the same time, you don't want to hand them the store either. Take a look at how I started out this article as an example. Step number 4. List off your main points you want to cover. This is where you list off your main points you want to cover in point form. You don't have to come up with a lot. 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, it really depends on what you plan on covering. Step number 5. Elaborate on each point you wrote down. After you've finished writing down your main points you want to cover, your next step is to elaborate on each of them with a sentence or two. Step number 6. Finish up with a conclusion. You've now figured out who your target audience is going to be. You've put together a attention-grabbing headline to pull readers in. You've listed off and elaborated on 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 points with a sentence or two. Now, it's time for the conclusion. And your conclusion is simply where you have your chance to tell your readers why this article was important and to get them to take action. Step number 7. Put together a compelling resource box. Your resource box is where you put your copyright info and website contact information. There are many styles of how your resource box could look, so my suggestion to you is visit some article directories to see how others are putting their resource boxes together, or you can take a look at mine at the end of this article. Your choice. Well, there you have it, the 7-step formula for writing powerful articles in less than an hour. The best way to get this formula down is to have a nice size notepad to write on and go through the steps listed above to brainstorm your article topics. Make sure you spend some time with your headline. This is probably the most important part of the article because its job is to bait your readers. Don't let fear stop you from writing because you think you don't have any wisdom to share. I used to think that way, but as you can see, I no longer fear writing and have no problem sharing that with you. So, with that said, I truly hope this article inspired you to get writing and got your creative juices flowing for your first article and the ones that follow.
For more content like this, please visit learnforfree.biz.
Content produced and distributed by AllSuperInfo. All rights reserved.